Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, I don't know. I take my welcomes back. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I don't know. Y'all might know what I mean when I say I take my welcome back. You might not. But yes, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get my links together, but we got to talk about what these men have in common, which, in my opinion, are different levels of narcissism. Because I believe narcissism, it shows up differently depending on who you're dealing with, etc. So yeah, that's why we got all of them on here. And then I also want to talk about baby oil Diddy. Okay, we got to talk about the freak offs today. We got to talk about the freak offs because I don't know. Okay, Diddy is out of control. Diddy is out of control. He's going down. I don't think it's no turning back. But then again, the system is so chaotic. He could be able to diddle his way out of this one too, and that'll be very unfortunate. So hold on. Let me um okay. Y'all should see my links right now. I'm about to put my links in the chat. That's what I was doing. And I was about to talk about this video I'm not talk about this video, but I was working on this video before I started this about I guess Carlos King just loves the mess, and he reposted this article that was stating that he was like, or that the show was like the messiest thing on on air right now, and you just have to watch it. And it's like, of course, you will be reposting that. That's what you live for. Okay, so y'all, I got all my links in the chat. Hold on, I'm trying to pin them. But of course, YouTube be hating on me. Hold on. All my links are I got them in the chat, but I'm trying to pin them and YouTube isn't letting me. Like, girl, what is this? Jesus Christ. Girl, okay, I don't have time no more. Like, why isn't it letting me pin my links? Y'all, hold on. Like, I don't know what YouTube is doing. Let me try to do it again. Let me put some more words in it so I'll have somewhere to type. Okay, let's see if that works. Girl, there we go. Dang! Took all that. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all, it took all of that. Okay, y'all. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being in the chat. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So, I want to talk about these men. Hold on one second. See, I normally try to have my stuff together. This is why I don't go live, because you have to always, I feel like you have to be on beat. Okay. And I ain't professional enough to be staying on beat all the time. But we got to talk about what these four men have in common. The narcissism is real. So I want to talk about how all four of these men, in my opinion, are narcissists, and they all show up differently in the world. Especially, I just think they are all, first of all, let me clarify. I am not a therapist, okay? This is my opinion. I don't know if these men have been diagnosed with narcissism or personality disorder or whatever. However, in my opinion, they have traits of a narcissist, and they are all similar to one another, in my opinion. And I want to talk about how. So, so yeah, that's basically what the topic is going to be. And if you guys are not watching Sister Wives, then you should be watching Sister Wives, because I'm going to be talking a lot more about Sister Wives. Sister Wives came back when was it? On Monday, I believe, or on Sunday. Sister Wives came back, and it's so much that I really want to break down when it comes to sobbing Robin with her crybaby ass. She is just so pessimistic every single time we see her on camera, but also she is very manipulative and she's very evil. And again, people be like, oh, these are just shows, but you can still see a person's personality throughout these shows. That's just my opinion. So if y'all are not like really engulfed in Sister Wives, get engulfed in Sister Wives. Okay. And if you're not, don't worry about it, because I'm going to be talking about it over on my podcast channel a lot more often. And I'm streaming from both channels right now. So if y'all are not subscribed to my podcast channel, subscribe to it. I'm going to be streaming from both channels for the rest of this week, so y'all can get accustomed to my podcast channel, because the podcast channel, I want to have, I want to be about all topics, versus this Here for Hot Tea channel, this main channel. I want to be really mainly Love Amira Chunksville based. And so, yeah. With that being said, somebody says Cody and Robin are both horrible. I agree. One of the scenes that stood out to me is when Robin felt like okay, so here's how I feel like she's a manipulator. She tries to act as if she's naive and she doesn't know the severity of all these other women's relationship with Cody. And if you've been paying attention for all these years, then you would know that Robin has been behind the scenes manipulating the situation the entire time, and basically not being a sisterhood to these women. But in the same breath, she's like, oh, I miss my sisterhood, or I miss the union that I had with my sisters. And it's like, no, bitch, because you never really held this dude accountable for his actions. And the fact that you co-signed him not speaking to his children because they wouldn't kiss his ring. And now now you're trying to make it seem as like, y'all, we're gonna have to go more in depth about it on the podcast channel. But there's a specific clip that I want to play pertaining to Cody, because he didn't want to talk about his daughter, or I think the producers asked him a question about his daughter, and he's going to say in the confessional, no, we're not talking about her. I'm not having conversations about her. And it's like, as a woman, Robin sobbing ass, why do you even want to be next to a man that can't even keep the relationships with his children flowing and healthy, powerful, and dynamic? So one thing that I've always had issues with when it came to women, specifically women that are of Robin's personality type, they like to stroke a man's ego to their own detriment to no extent, and don't care how it affects the children or anything. Like, they could literally care less about them damn kids as long as they have a man. And I think that is the epitome of fucking pathetic. Why is it that you even want to be around a man that would treat his daughter in that way? It's like, girl, I don't know. I just don't understand bitches that be with men that don't take care of their kids. And Sabanez Robin, the fact that he has that attitude toward them children, you know why he feels that way about them kids, because you talking about, oh, they don't want to talk to me or my kids. You and your kids are always playing victim. First of all, the last time we seen your damn kids in a confessional, they were basically taking on the same mindset that you had toward all of these women and their children, which lets us know that you already be in the house talking about this to them, and you give them the opinion they should have of these people. So all the other kids have created their own bond and created their own love for one another, and your kids are the outsiders because you have always raised them to be the outsiders, similar to Mill's baby mama and his mistress. Again, something about narcissistic men, they are always triangulating women, right? And they are always going to hold one woman to a higher standard than the next, just to validate themselves, to build their esteem, to build their egos, etc. So, and a lot of times you have these women thinking that they are a prize, and that, oh, I'm a prize. He's going to treat me better, this, that, and the third, without realizing it's literally just a pattern to keep their egos raised, or to make them feel big, or to make them feel good. And so these women will take on these personalities toward other women that they've been involved with for no reason. You don't know this woman. This woman's never had any type of interactions with you, yet you feel so strongly about this woman, and why. You know what I'm saying? So we get a chance to see that with, well, I'm not going to say Robin don't know the other women, but I'm just saying sometimes it's in a case like the women don't really know the other woman just based on what the man says, and that's what they base their entire life around, or their entire relationship in existence around. They base it off of whatever woman that man is hating in that moment. So we see it with we see it with Sob and Robin and Cody. We see it with Mel's baby mama and Horion Slorion. We saw it with Diddy and Carisha. Now, I'm not, like, when Carisha was with Diddy, she was very much, she had this her ego was very much up there, right? I think she even told this one girl that she was a eater or something like that, or I'll have Diddy pull you in here to do this, that, and the third, or whatever. And basically, like, at that time, she was like the top bitch, even though, like, Diddy literally had a whole baby with this girl. And I'm not saying the other girl is completely in the right either, but I'm just giving you guys, I'm just touching on the basics so y'all understand what I mean by narcissism and its similarities, right? Okay, so you go, and then we get into Simon Gobadia. Now, Simon Gobadia is a different level. Like, his level of narcissism and other women is different, because you don't get to see how his narcissism plays out with the women surrounding him, because they are oftentimes silent. Now, I can't say this for sure, but based on the type of person the Gobadia man seems to be, I'm willing to bet that the women that he takes care of in his life, like his mothers, his aunts, all of the, who all of the elder women in his life, they don't see any wrong with his behavior. And a lot of times they're in the background, stroking his ego, not telling him anything. They're not, hey, maybe you shouldn't be harassing the woman, or maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Like, they never really hold them accountable for anything. They just kind of let them do any and everything. And this is why they behave in this way. And it starts from when they're younger, and literally it pans out all the way until they're fucking adults. And everybody always let these men get by. And again, most of the time I'm always talking about black men, right? But I most of the time talk about black men because that is the community that I'm in, right? I'm in the black community. But in this case, we're going to just talk about narcissism in men in general. And so a lot of times it's because they are never held accountable. They're never forced to be, I guess, um, a lot of times narcissists also don't get a chance to truly comprehend their feelings and emotions. And I'm not going to say they don't get a chance to, they don't do it. Nobody teaches them how to control it, handle it, what it feels like, how to adapt to it, etc. So when you see people holding narcissistic men accountable, oftentimes it feels embarrassing to them, so they lash out. And we've seen that with all of these men that we see right here on this screen. So let's start somewhere, okay? Who should we start with first? I don't know. Let's throw somebody out there. Which article we gonna pull up first? Let's talk about Gobadia, right? Codependencies. Yes. let's talk about Gobadia, right? I'm gonna pull this up on multiple different platforms, but at this moment, shout out to Reality TV Entertainment or Reality Entertainment TV on Instagram. And if I don't say anybody's names from the articles or Instagrams or social media pages that I'm using, don't charge it to my heart, okay? It's just, a lot of times I just be moving fast, okay? So Simon was basically exposed, in my opinion, for being an absolute Shrek in the courtroom. And yes, a Shrek. He's being an ogre, harassing Portia allegedly with frivolous lawsuits. He's basically using the court system to be a narcissist. Who do we see that in? Like, we literally see that in Martell. Oh my gosh, I'm not even, hold on, y'all can't even see it. I was literally finna just keep talking and going on and on and on. Hold on. Okay. So I'm sorry, y'all. Here it is. But so when we talk about narcissists oftentimes they use their money, they use their power, they use their proximity to just being in a patriarchal society and understanding that they're men, they're living in a patriarchal society, etc. And that's what we see. We see it with Martell, we seen it with Diddy, we seen it with Gobadia, the Shrek, the ogre. That's what we're going to call him. We're going to call him Gobadia, the ogre. And we also have seen it with, Cody, but from a standpoint in, he literally manipulated all of these women into investing into all of this land at the Coyote Pass property. And now that they are not emotionally and romantically invested in him, he's not, hey, trying to make sure he sell the land and divvy their money, give them their money. He's not trying to do any of that. He's not being what's it called? He's not taking the initiative to make sure these women get their money back, etc., even though they've invested all of their time, money, and energy, etc., into these lands, helped him build him up, etc. Robin, those women were there before you showed up, girl, but she can have him. Nobody wants to be with raggedy ass Cody. It happens in the white community too, but I find the black women to be more vicious when they're protecting these ninjas. I agree. Thank you so much. And one thing that I want to go ahead and throw out on this platform is what happens in other communities, because I think it's safe to say that all of this stuff happens in every community across the board in different magnitudes, right? But regardless of if it's happening, it never makes it right? And so a lot of times I feel like we normalize saying, okay, well, it happens in these communities too. And I'm not saying that's something that you're seeing, Nenny. I'm just saying in general, because I know, like, probably in my playback, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get, oh, it happens in da da da. I'm going to get that because for whatever reason, when we're talking about the inadequacies in our community, people start to be offended and they want to throw other communities in the conversation. And it's like, it really wouldn't matter if other communities are doing that in their in their community, because are we fucking better or not? Are we trying to set the standard or not? Or do we do we really feel that low of ourselves to try to mimic and copy another community even when they're doing wrong and doing bad, etc.? So again, I know that's not, yeah, Nanny, I know, I know, I know, I know that's not what you were saying, but I was just saying that for like the others or whatnot. I understand, like I understand, because I agree with you. In our community, I feel like the black women are more vicious when it comes to protecting the black men that do these wrongdoings because the lack thereof in our community. I think a lot of times we like we look past, we really, I think a lot of times we genuinely look past the generational curses within our bloodlines and communities, and nobody is genuinely being honest about the traumas that come with being uh uh with a broken home, right? People try to minimalize it and say, oh well, you know, oh, marriage is not that serious because when I want to break up with him, I can't get away. As if you are genuinely dating men to, I meant dating or thinking dating to want to get away from somebody. Like it, or saying things like, saying things like Miss Marlene said about Melody, knowing everything that her son did to Melody, the fact that she had all of those things to say about Melody, when at the end of the day, the thing that she raised was in the absolute, was wrong no matter what. Right, right. And so when we normalize protecting these men, it creates this cycle. So now they think that they can go and get as many women pregnant as possible because there aren't any consequences. Y'all gonna continue fighting each other, and y'all still gonna want to be with them. If there were more women that looked at men that created broken homes and were disgusted by them as I am, then it wouldn't. Then this truthfully wouldn't be a norm, right? But because it's so normalized, um you know, I mean, because in my opinion, because women want these romantic relationships with the men in our communities, they're willing to do and put up with anything. Black women are expected to take all kinds of mistreatment, and we're always going up for others, but who is on our side? We're not even on our own side. I agree. And I totally understand that, because I've always expressed, I don't even feel this, I've always expressed, I know, like, if things were to hit the fan in my marriage, because there is such a lack thereof in the type of man that I have, you know, I genuinely feel like I wouldn't even have, you know what I'm saying? So nobody would care, because I move with a certain level of confidence, and I have a certain level of of just pride about myself. I've noticed anytime there's a woman like that, that's confident in herself, that's take pride in herself, that's strong, I guess, because I don't even like to say use that, but I noticed that the world and people in general are always harsh on that woman, especially when they're choosing themselves over a man. So going back to Simon, so this was reported on Reality Entertainment TV. It says Portia Williams was granted a huge victory in an ongoing divorce case against Simon Gobadia. And then it says, and then Simon responded somewhere, and he said, when is At People magazine going to realize that they are being used as a propaganda machine to propagate lies? Here is an excerpt to the Fulton County judge order. This matter is headed to the appellate court level level in a major publication like People's Magazine is being used to propagate lies. A win is a scratch, shake my damn head. Now, what he failed to realize in this, before I get to reading this, is that there are, educated people on the internet that could go and click the court document that could translate it for regular people like myself, right? And so there were a lot of people in the comment section basically saying, Simon, the judge basically granted her all of those things, and you're failing to highlight the point where the judge or people are feeling like you are using this to harass her, right? So Simon circled this out of the article from People magazine, I'm assuming, and it says a judge also denied Gobadia's emergency motion regarding discovery and awarded Williams attorney's fees and expenses of litigation to be paid by Gobadia, in which he should, because he's the one creating frivolous lawsuits, allegedly. And so he also circles this part here, and then it says wife requested an award of attorney's fees and expenses of litigation. Um, and then it says the court hereby denies wife request for attorney's fees. So I think, so if I'm not mistaken, he's basically saying that People's Magazines was wrong about her being rewarded attorney's fees. People in the comment section, and I don't know why it's not loading up here, but they were basically saying that Portia was rewarded attorney fees on this, but denied attorney's fees for the overall case or something of the sort. I don't know, right? But this says the court further finds that given husband is the party that adamantly contends he requires the requested discovery, wife nonetheless was the party to take initiative in drafting a proposed confidentiality order following the discovery conference on August 9th, 2024. The court advised the parties that it would be disappointed if the parties had not executed the confidentiality order prior to the motions hearing scheduled for August 21st, 2024. It wasn't until August 20th, 2024, after prompting by wife, that the husband he basically signed to maintain the confidentiality agreement so the parties could exchange their Fulton County mandatory discovery. The court finds that there's no evidence that the wife engaged in any willful conduct of violating. So basically, the court finds that that Portia didn't violate, or she didn't willfully violate any of the court's orders, and further finds that there is no evidence of substance or to sustain. There's no evidence to substantiate the wife acted in bad faith during the discovery. So basically, Simon's trying to say that she's acting in bad faith, etc., etc., etc. So again, one of the things that narcissists always do is use the court system to get back at the women that they are upset with, their ex-wives, their baby mamas, whatever the case may be. So yeah, this was the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And so everything that was in the prenup, bye Ashy, everything that was in the prenup, she was awarded. And I don't know why he thinks that he could say that it was fraud. See, he can't stand anyone telling his truth and being exposed. And that's how narcs are. None of them can expose. Sorry, y'all, I'm talking so fast today. But none of them can handle anybody telling their truth opposite of their perception of themselves. So Simon is doing more trolling, and somebody is talking about Portia's granddaughter. And so he's basically saying that her granddad is doing flips in his grave and talking about his legacy, etc. And again, y'all, see, he can't stay. Oh, yeah, I already read that. So yeah, Simon is on one. And I don't know what it's going to take to get him to realize, like, just take your L and move on. I think the relationship, when it comes to both of them, y'all wanted something from each other. Y'all both are trying to use each other. So move on. I think Simon tried to use Portia to get back at Fallon, and I think Portia tried to use Simon for a come up. It didn't work out. Move on. Stop embarrassing yourself. So let's talk about Diddy, okay? Shout out to Neighborhood Talk. Diddy has reportedly been taken into federal custody in New York after the grand jury indictment. And Diddy's attorney and everything and everybody responded, but I'm gonna tell y'all there's just one part that I really want to talk about because it was exposed that he be using. Hold on, let's just.
In March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of...
Okay, wait, hold on, y'all. Let me get my glasses because anytime I don't have my glasses on, I get to reading all funky and shit. But there's a certain part that I really want to read and break down for y'all. So hold on, let me get my glasses and let me finish playing this.
Personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. As part of this investigation...
I mean, so they're stocking hotel rooms for freak-offs.
As part of this investigation, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had.
Hold on, y'all, because I don't like that. I don't like that it was
were made about Combs' crimes.
Oh,
he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims.
Hold on. I don't like that it's doing that stopping, and I just want to make sure that's not me and I can play it all the way.
In late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his... Part of this investigation, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his... Part of this investigation, in late 2023...
I just wanted y'all to hear it thoroughly. Okay. Now, oh, sorry. More of, of course 50 Cent gonna come out and troll. And his kids have also all turned in their passports. On top of that, he is asking to have a bond. Like, he wants to be able to get a bond. and he's wanting everybody to know that he's not a flight risk. And I don't know, I don't know. Could he be a flight risk because he has so much money? Possibly. Could he not be a flight risk because he's so famous? And it's like, where could he go? Possibly, right? So I don't know. But again, he did the crime. He got to do the time. That's just my opinion. So it says federal authorities are charging Sean Diddy Combs with racketeering, ex-African, and transportation to engage in, I don't know if I can even say all these words, but prostitution, according to, I don't want to say prostitution.
Yeah, that's worse.
But we could say prostitution.
Yeah, prostitution.
Prostitution. According to an unsealed indictment against him by the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York released Tuesday. The details of Combs' arrest indictment have been revealed after the music mogul, who was the subject of the ex-trafficking investigation in a pair of federal raids, was arrested in New York City on Monday. The producer was taken into custody based on a sealed indictment. Okay, so I don't know. So I don't know how sealed it is now. I don't know if it's still sealed, considering that they're talking about it, or if that is something else that the man was just talking about that we seen. But it says SDNY announced on social media. Oh, okay, so they're finna talk about it. Nothing it would have more to say after the indictment was unsealed Tuesday morning. According to the 14-page indictment filed by the New York District Court, Combs turned his multi-phase business empire into a criminal enterprise in which he and his associates engaged in kidnapping, arson, and physical violence, ex-trafficking, and forced labor, among other crimes. Oh my gosh. What do y'all think? I really want to know what y'all think. Y'all get in the comments and let me know. But it says, standing before the U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin, I don't know that last name, but Combs pleaded not guilty to all the allegations brought against him Tuesday. The judge is expected to decide whether Combs should remain in custody pending trial. Multiple AR-15 UNs or pow-pows, large capacity magazines, evidence of the crimes in the indictment, and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant were discovered during the raid, said Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. So y'all, I mean, when they said that he had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, I mean, to me, I was instantly freaked out, but I don't know what to really think of that. To me, that's weird, but it also solidifies how people say that Hollywood is just weird, and they call it Holly weird, and they say it's all of these weird, crazy ex parties going on, etc. And Clive, people were asking him plenty of questions, and he was basically people think that he was acting like he couldn't hear, and he was acting old, because we've seen him, be regular up until now. So now people asking him questions and he acting all blind and stuff. But let me just finish the article on this. It says Combs threatened and coerced women to fulfill his sexual desires, the indictment said. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney Office. Miss Combs' attorney, Mark, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, told U.S. Today. In the statement Monday, Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. I don't know. Okay, I don't know, baby. I'm not willing to ride that wave with you. Okay, and that's just that on that. So let's go ahead and talk about Cody before I go ahead and mingle all of these narcs together and give y'all the whole analysis of them all. So if you guys are into Sister Wives, I already explained a little bit of Sister Wives earlier in the beginning, but I do want to play the clip that kind of had me like what's your problem? I was kind of disgusted in him, and I want y'all to tell me what you think. And if you don't think anything because you don't watch the show enough to give an opinion, just kind of give me your opinion on what you see or hear in this clip. And just understand that I'm obviously not going to be able to show y'all this clip, but I do want y'all to hear it.
I'm a little nervous going to this baby shower. The last time I saw Christine was when she told us that she didn't want a relationship with me and my kids.
I'm just nervous because our divorce hasn't been really amicable. It's been sad, and we just hope that the environment is warm and friendly.
I'm really nervous about Cody and Robin coming to the sprinkle. I just am.
Oh, what's up? Your stuff. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Glad you guys came.
McKelty's like, Dad and Robin are here. I'm like, okay.
Hola, mi bambina. La samba? Wanna dance? Wanna dance?
It's hard. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a gamble. I imagine everything's going to be okay, but the last time we saw each other, which was like a year ago, was not okay.
Oh my God. Hi. You guys just snuck in. Hi. Hey, Dad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing
How's it going?
And then I just keep being like, you know what? This is about McKelty, and it's not even about me. She would love everybody to get back together again and be one big family again. She really would.
And that's not a big one. Strange world.
My kids still want to have a great relationship with.
Okay, so basically on this, Robin and Cody haven't seen any of these people within like a year. What's her name is pregnant. I'm talking about what's her name, but I'm just trying to get y'all through it. What's her name is pregnant, and Robin comes in and she doesn't speak. The reason why Robin doesn't speak is because Christy. Oh my gosh, I wasn't even talking. Like y'all couldn't even hear me. So basically, oh my gosh, my bad, y'all. So basically, Robin and Cody haven't seen all these people within, a year or so. It's been a minute since he's seen them. He and Robin they go over to the baby shower or whatnot, and they don't speak to Christine. They don't speak to Christine, and Robin feels like she doesn't have to speak to Christine because Christine says she doesn't want a relationship with her or her children. And I feel like Christine doesn't want a relationship with Robin or her children because Robin is a shiesty ass, snake ass, weird ass bitch. And she be making it seem like she's loving, kind, and caring. And she really fake as hell. And she be, she's the reason why all of the wives basically broke up. This is the first episode of the new season.
With their dad. I still want them to have a great relationship with their dad and with Robin too.
You wanna play blackjack?
Sure. With somebody else's money, I'll take every risk that I.
And can we talk about how old Robin is? The youngest wife, y'all, and she looks the absolute oldest. She looks like a crow. And if that's mean, I don't care because her spirit and personality is very nasty and wicked and mean. But okay, that was that part. And then I want y'all to hear this part.
I had to hang out for a bit.
Is this almost how?
Damn, she could
Does it all.
Hey, Axel! It's your cousin Avalon! Oh, Miss Avalon, this is your cousin. This is your cousin. This is Miss Evie K. Say hi. Axel. This is last time I saw you, I was pregnant with her.
And now here you guys both are pregnant. That's pretty fun if you ask me.
I know that Maddie has not had any conversations with her dad. She's not called him. She doesn't have any relationship with Robin. She's pretty much written them both off. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to like a consistent presence.
Let's talk about Maddie.
I won't talk about her.
You won't?
Nope.
So he don't want to talk about Maddie and it's like, imagine how she feels. One thing that I don't like about Cody is sobbing Robin, and this is why Robin looked old and ugly as fuck. That's how, and I always say, you always know when people, or not people, but you always know when women specifically, you know when men are evil and nasty in their primes by different reasons, but you always know when women were nasty and evil and wicked in their primes based on how they age. That's just my opinion. And it's no way Robin is literally all these years younger than them. I think she's way older than them, and she looks old as shit. She literally got the pieces of gray hair on her head, and there's nothing wrong with pieces of gray hair, right? But she just got this one fat, thick patch of gray hair in the front of her head, and she just is like a witch to me. She's like an evil villain witch. I don't know. It fits her perfectly. All the other wives look good though.
Okay.
I don't
And you know what I mean? They look good for,
understand why Cody's not reaching out.
Okay, y'all. This is what I want y'all to see. Look how old. Robin looked old as shit. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This little patch of white hair that's right here. Like, this hoe look old and decrepit. Okay, no lips. She looked just like a crow to me. She's just not a good person. She's not a good person.
To Madison or some of the other kids, I know he's in a very angry and hurt place, but he should just be putting in the effort. But I think the kids should be doing the same thing too. How was your appointment today? What happened?
They're moving well. Their heartbeats are steady. They're doing fine.
You guys, you have your date though. Like you have your
Yeah,
end
I
date.
scheduled my inducement.
Are you excited?
To get them out of me, yes. I think the current state of my family is honestly heartbreaking. I mean, you look back 14 years ago when Robin first joined the family and we were all this like beautiful, united, together against all odds vibe. It was really amazing. And then it's just the life has gone on and that's kind of started to disjoint. It's really sad. It's honestly just really sad.
Okay, I was telling McKelty, she goes, why else are they here? Because moving you, wedding, but then there's one more reason.
Oh, we're just going to go look at property in Montana.
Property to
build on.
I know, that's the secret. And what's more, Janelle's talking about possibly.
Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, right? I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but now I want my husband to kind of dissect all these men and give his opinions, etc. Honey.
Little girl. What's up, y'all? It's Tech Guy checking in. So I'm gonna start from left to right with Simon. Simon. I just can't believe the fact that you really are trying to extend this out and push this out when you knew from the get-go what you was trying to get out of this situation. I'm not gonna speak on Portia because that's a woman. I don't understand the ideology, nor that do I have I walked in those shoes. But from Simon's perspective, I can tell he was trying to use her against family. My wife explained to me the whole situation with the pool boy and him feeling butthurt about that, and that's kind of how I got turned on to this. But as far as him trying to go as far as like making it seem like on the blogs or when the blogs are interviewing about the subject that he won a court case, it's like you are being divorced and you're the provider for this woman. So there's a certain level of decorum that you're supposed to carry yourself with in a situation like this. Like, and this kind of ties into Martell when he was getting divorced from Melody. He showed his whole behind the entire time, so much so he's making countersuits against her, trying to make her look like she is not a fit mother. In this situation, he's trying to make basically bad faith claims against her, stating that all the things that she's demanding in the divorce decree isn't justifiable, when realistically she's just asking for the bare minimum. She's not asking for anything crazy, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he also said it was fraud.
Fraud for her to pay for your lawyer fees, for her lawyer fees. Y'all had an agreement. Didn't they have like a written, some sort of like a prenuptial agreement?
Yeah, it's a prenup.
Yeah, it's a prenup. So now
he's trying to say that the prenup was signed like during fraud, like the you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yeah.
The only fraud is what you did to get your paperwork, to get your green card, dog.
Allegedly.
Ain't no allegedly, dog.
Allegedly,
the paperwork that was supposed to keep him in this country is the catalyst to what brought this whole situation up. So to move on, let's go ahead and move on to Diddy. With the diddler.
He said he signed under duress. His big Shrek looking ass. I can't stand Ogre Gobadia.
How you gonna play the victim? Duress of what? Did she put him in a headlock and make him sign the paperwork?
His name Ogre Gobadia.
That is out of control. But anyway, as far as the dealer is concerned, like in the court documents, like my wife said, they found 3 AR-15s with I think the serial number scraped off of them. I'm guessing he's trying to protect his parties. They also were able to tap into all the electronics of not only him but his kids' security cameras. So only Lord knows what they've got on camera in there, and that's what I was thinking about. Okay, Diddy went down on this. We all been in the background thinking about in premonition about what's going to come of from the Cassie situation to the Young Miami situation to all the sex trafficking coming about on his name. But now I wonder, like, who else was involved? Because people who have been keeping this a secret for forever. Like, granted, like my wife said earlier, everybody knows that Hollywood has been connotated as Hollyweird. So it's always been some sort of like, there's always been a vibe that there's always these weird parties and sexual in-betweens between some of the biggest stars. But for this to actually hit the light the same year that Cat Williams stated that this was going to be the year of truth, to see all of these individuals get exposed, it's like Pandora's box has been opened as far as this Diddy situation. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the United States Attorney has to say as far as what other evidence they're going to be bringing up against him in this indictment and how they're going to choose to handle this situation, given that it's really getting out of hand. Like, he's trying to get a $50 million bond on a sex trafficking charge.
Hey. You can't say that.
Excuse me, on an ex-trafficking charge. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get into the mindset, the lingo. I'm getting. We're gonna be limited. No, please don't limit us, YouTube. But yeah, and just to hear his lawyer sit here and try to make the case that he's an imperfect person, but he's not a criminal. Nah, that video,
after we seen the
video with Cassie, he definitely is a bona fide certified criminal. They know there's never been no excuse to be beaten on a woman in that nature. Like, that's just unacceptable.
In any nature.
Mm-hmm. So it's just deplorable. And then it's just gonna be I know it's gonna be so much more that's gonna come from this situation. Like, Diddy isn't the only one who had hands in this, because there's probably a lot of people, high-level execs in the industry, who have been fighting tooth and nail to keep this out of it, because they probably have money contingent on some of his operations that's been going on. So I just, as a man, like, it's just disgusting to see, like, once again, another black man using our queens, and also just like Cody as well, using the women that surrounded him to get to the next step or the next level in life. Diddy with the sex trafficking, using them to.
Okay, y'all, we gotta go. We gotta go. Yeah, we're gonna call it. We gotta find a nickname for it.
We do.
Let's call it
peddling.
Okay.
People peddling.
But will people understand that?
People peddling? You're peddling people?
Yeah, pedaling, like bike pedaling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can see how people can misconstrue it. Like a bike?
A bike? What we pedaling? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will figure it out because I don't want to get restricted. But as far as Cody is pathetic to see that like he's not even man enough to be honorable. He knew when he drew these women into this situation, his goal was to ascertain as much land and as much resources and assets as possible, just to manipulate them on the back end when he came across a woman that he actually wanted to spend time with and invest into. And now he's treating not only the women that he's benefited off of by ascertaining all of this land, not only that, you've turned around and you've isolated and alienated the kids that you've created when initially you proposed this to them like it was going to be a group setting. We're all going to work together. We're all going to be able to use this land in different capacities to make it optimized for everybody's interest. But once you came across something that benefited your own personal interest, you shunned everybody else that had a part in you elevating to this point in time. And that's something that men across the board that I just can't get with. You always want to lift as you climb as a man. As a man, you never want to leave anybody hanging that was pivotal or imperative to you being able to get to the level that you are at now. It's deplorable. It's a user mentality. And I wish less of the individuals that look like me continue to practice this because it doesn't get you anywhere. Look at Diddy. He spent 30 years abusing women from Kim Porter to what's her name, Cassie, to Young Miami, to countless other women that had felt victim to the people peddling that he was a part of. So I just think from Martell to Cody to Simon to even Diddy, it gives me a headache because these are like the examples running around the world. Like for a long time, people would look up to Diddy. Prior to Melody leaving Martell, people would have looked at Martell as like an example in the community.
And people still look up to Martell, probably.
Still do.
At the very least, there are women that want him.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not, and they don't, it's part of their, I would say, how they select the individual that's going to lead their life. They don't critique that at all. Like they don't take into account how does he handle the other women in his life? Mm-hmm. How does he handle the past women in his life? Like Simon, I'm pretty sure didn't he have a wife? Didn't he have wife and kids prior to Portia? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she never even looked into that as far as, or she never looked past what can I gain from this situation immediately. Right. So I feel for her that this is what she's going through, but you walked into this situation knowing that this dude's, look at him. Do he look like look, comment section. Do he look like an honest individual?
No, he don't.
He don't.
Okay. Well, y'all, baby, is it anything you want to close it out on? We hitting our hour mark in Trending's Live.
I don't. It was nice talking to you guys. We're gonna be talking again. This is it's good to get back in the mix of speaking and conversing with you guys.
Y'all know Tech Guy is a working man, y'all. He got a life.
Yeah,
I be trying to drag him on this platform, but I told y'all I stole the Here for Hot Tea podcast. Yeah. So bye, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all watch Sister Wives, and I'm gonna keep up with y'all later on today. We're gonna be going live. Well, I don't know about going live, but I'm gonna be posting some videos later on today.